So we pick up where we left off last week in the book of Hebrews. Like we said, we're not really sure who wrote the book of Hebrews, but the author helps explain who Jesus is and why Jesus is so important. As many of you remember from Christmas time, Jesus came to earth as a baby. However, this was far from typical. Jesus was the Son of God, born without sin, meaning that he never fell short of God's perfect standard. And Jesus was tempted and faced with hardships to the ones similar to what we face today. However, Jesus lived a perfect life, and he helped a lot of people. He taught and healed and changed the world. So when Jesus was arrested and accused of wrongdoing, it was completely false. Imagine the shock of Jesus' closest friends when an angry mob demanded that Jesus be hung on a wooden cross. Jesus died on that cross, but his death paid the debt for all of our sin. And Jesus freely gave his life for us to save us from the consequences of sin. 3 days after dying, Jesus came back to life. So that's where we are now. Part of why Hebrews was written was to encourage people to keep looking to Jesus, the Son of God, in all situations. Check this out. A huge cloud of witnesses is all around us. So let us throw off everything that stands in our way. Let us throw off any sin that holds on to us so tightly. And let us keep on running the race marked out for us. Let us keep looking to Jesus. He is the one who started this journey of faith. And he is the one who completes the journey of faith. He paid no attention to the shame of the cross. He suffered there because of the joy he was looking forward to. Then he sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. He made it through these attacks by sinners. So think about it. Then you won't get tired. You won't lose hope. So long before you and I showed up, people like Abraham, Joseph, and Moses trusted God as they struggled through all these really difficult situations. And Jesus himself was another person who faced unimaginable shame and pain on the day that he was placed on the cross. But I really love the fact that Jesus never gave up, even though it was hard. Jesus didn't let anything get in the way of his mission here on earth. And because of his life, death, and resurrection, we can reconnect with God forever. This is the best news, the good news for all people. On top of that, in Jesus, we have an amazing example of how God wants us to live. So as we navigate this life, we have choices of where to turn in the face of hardships. The author of Hebrews says that to run the race of life with perseverance and resilience, we should focus our attention on Jesus. But more specifically, it says, let us keep looking to Jesus. Let's look at some of the moments to help us see how focusing on Jesus can help us. Suppose you learn a close family member you love becomes sick. One might worry about losing their family member and have an overwhelming sense of helplessness. To fix your eyes on Jesus could look like praying to God to thank him for that family member and to ask for healing. It might be the way you find comfort when life seems super stressful. Now, some of you may know what it's like to have a best friend move away. A deep sense of sadness and loss would be perfectly normal to this. To turn your gaze on Jesus, it could really look like encouraging your friend to plug into a church at his or her new hometown, texting them to share a verse from the Bible that can remind them to have courage. Your friend will no doubt need a boost of courage, and that can come from you. So a lot of you play sports and do extracurricular activities because it's fun to be on a team and to compete. So suppose you're injured before the big game or a dance recital or whatever. Those who want to play would feel a great sense of disappointment. But to turn to Jesus during this time could look like choosing to show love, patience, determination, all of those things. Or it could look like showing up anyways to cheer on your teammates. This allows you to reflect Jesus' example to your entire team. So as we wrap everything up today, I want you to think about this question. What can help you focus on Jesus? You'll likely want to focus on your fear or disappointment or sadness, but is there something or somebody who can help you focus on the most important thing? Jesus. See you next time.